In this lesson, we will learn about validation. So validation is a very important feature in a lot of things that we do. So whenever we make forms, we validate that the values are of the correct type. So let's just run this code here and let's see what we have. So we have this text field here and we want to validate it. Say for the first thing we want that whether it's a number or not. So suppose the entry had to be a number, whether it's a number or not. So what we can do is, what we have here is a div id text1 valid. So if there is a problem, we will set a message here. So we will set the value of this div. Otherwise it will just show as empty. So let's see, we want to check whether it's a number. So we have gotten the input value in a field. What we can check is, we can say var num is equal to plus inp value. So as we know, it will convert it into a number. Now we can say if is nan, so num, so which will check whether it is nan or not. We know if this was not a number, if the string was not did not consist of digits, it will make it nan. So we can say if is nan is a function. Then what will it do? It will check whether this is a number or not. And if this is a nan, not a number, then this will be true. So what we will do here is, we will say var le is equal to document dot get element by id. And which one are we getting? We are getting txt1 valid. In fact, let's get it out, because in either case we will need to set its value. So if it's not a number, we will say le dot inner html is, so what value do we want to give it? Not a number, please enter again. So we would have set it as not a number, please enter again. And if it was a number, else we will say le dot inner html is an empty string. So what purpose will this do? So earlier, if there was an error and we were displaying the string, because we have not set it to be an empty string, that message will disappear. Let's go ahead and run this code and let us see what do we get. So let's say we say qw and we validate it, is nan is not defined. There's an error I did, is nan will be caps. So let's say, now let's run it again. Let's say I say qw, is nan is not defined is the error we're still getting. Let me just check. So the error is nan, a is small, is nan. That is how we write it. Let's check it again. qw, when I validate it, inner html is not a function. Again mistakes, I don't know why we're making a lot of mistakes. So inner html is an empty string. So this is how we are using the console to debug it. Again, let's give it the value qw, and we now get the message, not a number, please enter again. Let's enter something, 1 2 3 4. We validate it and the message goes away. So we get this message. So this is a validation we are doing. So not a number, if it's not a number, we can please enter again. Similarly, if the validation was that we wanted a name and the name had to have a minimum size of say 5 characters, how would we have done that? Let's delete this code. I don't need this part of it. So let's say we have gotten the inp value and we will say var len is equal to inp value dot length. Now what will we check? If len is less than 5, so we wanted a string which had minimum 5 characters, we will say le dot inner html is equal to the input should have a minimum of 5 characters. So this is the message. Else what will we do? Else we will say le dot inner html is an empty string. Why? Because we don't need to show any error message. Let's go ahead and check it again. So if we say enter A, B, C, D and validate, we are getting the input should have minimum of 5 characters. If we say now QW, the same message is there. If we make it QWERTY, the message goes away. If I delete a couple of characters and validate, again we get this message. So this is how typically a validation is run, and we can build any kinds of logics that we would want to do for our validation here.